Hello, welcome back to day 5 now of our Success Parenting series of videos plus Facebook Lives. I'm Peter Brodie of Success Parenting, and I jumped ahead of myself yesterday in the live session in talking about communities, or building your local community, whereas in fact there's a stage which comes before that. So far we've looked at self-observation and setting some kind of goal as to where we would like to be in life. Those were the first 2 sessions. The next 2 sessions were on how we impact our families, again an observation exercise, and what we would like to see and how we would like to develop our family connections in conjunction with what our family members themselves want. What we're going to look at now is moving outside the family, but recognizing that there are still pressures to maintain things as they were, because even though you may have moved beyond your comfort zone and possibly into a new comfort zone, there will be other members of your family who find that they're far more comfortable with what they've been used to, and who may well try to prevent you and your family from reaching your own goals, simply because they feel threatened by the possibility of change. Let me give you an example. On special occasions, let's say aunts or uncles or grandparents are in the habit of giving sweets to your children. But let's suppose that one of your family goals is to move towards a much more healthy lifestyle, where you're eating healthy foods and where you're looking for ways of living a more vital life and leaving behind the sweets and the pastries and things like that. Many families are really keen to adopt this new kind of approach because they actually find that they don't have to go to the doctor so much. They're not reliant upon being chopped open in hospitals and operated on. So one of my more colourful descriptions maybe. So the point I'm getting at is that giving the sweets, or the candies, as they're known as in America, giving the sweets is going to be something which they find threatening, because it's a form of gaining the approval of your children, maybe their grandchildren, their nieces and nephews. They're looking for gratitude, and the way they get the gratitude is by giving things which are fundamentally unhealthy. We could even really, seriously and truthfully look upon them as poisons. So when you think about it logically, let's say your daughter comes up to her birthday and she gets given sweets and cakes and things like that. What's actually happening is that this occasion for celebration, which is her birthday, is being treated as an occasion to poison her. And that's a bit of an extreme example, or an extreme viewpoint on it, but really it is actually true. So there will be resistance from outside to what you're trying to do. Not only that, but it may be that if you felt intimidated by your own parents, for example, It may be that you feel intimidated by them still, and that when they decide they're going to have their way and keep things the way they always have been, you'll find it difficult to resist them, and you may well allow them to do what they want rather than you doing what you want, and actually siding with your family's decisions rather than yeah. So you, rather than siding with your family's decisions and being committed to them, your commitment will be under threat from your parents because you're used to them having their own way. This is obviously it's going to be another difficult area. Getting your family involved was difficult in the first place. Keeping your older family that you grew up in out of the picture is going to be at least as difficult. And this is where we're going to be going tomorrow in looking at the community groups I mentioned yesterday, that support in areas like this is really important. I can't tell you how you should respond to your family any more than I can tell you how to bring up your own children. You're the one who knows best what your situation is, and as communication within your family gets more of a custom, where you're communicating much more easily and you're feeling more and more connected, you will find some strength inside your family. But you may also need to find strength elsewhere, which is what tomorrow's session is going to be about. This evening on the Facebook Live session, which is at 6 o'clock UK time, this evening we're going to be going into more depth in the idea of building resilience in the face of threats from outside. They're not real threats in the sense that there are people telling you or giving you, actually verbalizing threats, but they're threats in the sense that there is an area of resistance which is going to be problematic, almost certainly. On the other hand, you may have a family who, you may have parents, for example, who are open-minded and who like what you're doing and who actually come along with you and who are enthusiastic about everything. That would be absolutely wonderful. It's really other people who don't have that kind of experience who are going to benefit most directly from today's session. But understanding that other people have these problems will also be important for you, not directly but indirectly in terms of other people you come into contact with in your search for empowering your local communities and giving your children an ideal environment in which to grow up. So I'm going to keep this relatively short. I don't want to, what happened yesterday where I cut myself off at 15 minutes simply because I noticed how short the time was. So what I'm going to do now is to leave you with this thought for this evening. What would be, how do you see resistance from outside your family unit affecting decisions that you make within it? There, quite a big one. if you just, maybe I should have said this at the beginning, but if you haven't watched the previous videos, please can you try to do so in order. There's a build up to where we are through the first 4 days, and there's going to be, and this also will be part of understanding how we're going to use day 6 in the longer term. So there's a clear sequence. Each day or each session is dependent upon understanding from the previous sessions. So I look forward to seeing you and to seeing your comments this evening. I'm not quite sure what to say next. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you this evening. Please make sure that you like and share this with as many people as possible. This initiative will work better the more people who join in and who take children's empowerment, family empowerment, and conscious communication and connection seriously. With kindness and compassion uppermost in your mind, I look forward to seeing you this evening.